So this is our question here. So for the following problems, assume that int list is a list of integers and the hash code of the int list is the sum of the integers in the list. Int lists are considered equal only if they have the same size and the same values in the same order. So this is important that if they have the same size and the same values in the same order. So for bucket hash map uses separate chaining and that new items are added to the back of each bucket. As you can see, for bucket hash map always has 4 buckets and never resizes. So this is kind of interesting assumptions that we have given that we got it, I guess, from the problem. So here, this is evaluating hash functions. So this is the code. So please take some time to understand the code with the previous assumption that have been given to us, and let's solve the problem together. I hope you have enough time to think about it yourself. So the first question is, what is this line 4 will be returned from the following statement? So let's say at line 4 we had this FBHM dot, which is just our 4 bucket hash map, get int list of 1, 2. So the question is like what's going to happen, right? So if you understand this question correctly, which assumptions are a little bit confusing because this is a kind of weirdly like key map values that you haven't seen, but how it will work is we will always, we know that we constructed this list, right? List 1 up there. So how it will work is we will always add these 2 values, so whatever they have given in list of. So in this case, it will be 1 plus 2 mod 4 is equal to 3, right? So now then we know that this is our value that where the given key will be inserted. So in the bucket 3, in list 1, 2 is equivalent to this list of 1, 2. So dog, which is store value is returned. So you can clearly see that this 1 plus 2 mod 4 is equal to index 3, and this dog is just right there. So that's great. I hope it made more sense to you, but this one is a little bit unnatural because the given assumptions are kind of odd, but we'll see more examples. So you're like, okay, cool. And now the next question is at this line 6, what will be returned from the following statement? So we're actually making 2 calls this time. So our 4 bucket hash map named FVHM.get list of 1 and 2 and FVHM.get int list of 1, 2, 3. So you can see that this list 1.add was actually edited, right? It's 3. So what's going to happen is in here, our keys hasn't changed. So let's see what it really means. So what's going to happen is let's only examine the first call. So even though we added 3 here, because you're making this call only 1, 2, so this will just be 1 plus 2 mod 4 is equal to 3, which means that so in this in the list bucket 3, we're looking for a key that's list of 1, 2, but what we have is actually 1, 2, 3, right? So there's nothing to return, so there's no match. Then we will just return null. So you can see already like, okay, when we modify the key, the value that we meant to store is not correctly returned already. So let's see what will happen with the second part. So when we call this 1, 2, 3, right? So let's see what happens. So in this case, it'll be 1 plus 2 plus 3, which is 6 mod 2 is equal to 4, is equal to 2. Sorry, equals mod 4 is equal to 2. So then we will look for this in place of 1, 2, 3, this key of 1, 2, 3 with some kind of value pair at index 2. But all we have really is index 2 is like nothing there, it's empty. So then this will look up bucket 2 that is empty. We definitely cannot find any matched key. So here we just need to return null again. So and the last part is there a problem with this? Well, clearly there is, right? Because we couldn't get the value, like because the whole point is it needs to be deterministic. But then the value we found isn't the key that we inserted that we think what it was has been changed. So when we request the item that we technically inserted, which have been modified now, so they're not the same, but it was inserted, but we cannot retrieve the value anymore because the key pair has been changed. So you can see that adding 3 into list 1 change is hash code, right? So causing list 1 to live in the wrong bucket. So this is why we can never allow changes in key because it will mess up our hash. It will mess up with our hash code because that's why we um, hash it with a value with not a key. I think this was a great example understanding why we need to hash with a key rather than a value. If you have any other questions, please post it on Ed or email any of the staff members, and we will love to address some questions or concern you have.